Natural physiological birth is an involuntary process orchestrated by neurochemicals and hormones that unfurl a woman's body, enabling her to give birth to a baby and make the transition to motherhood. Physiological birth is directed from within the limbic system of the brain and body in response to and in collaboration with the endocrine system of the baby and placenta. This allows a woman to respond and surrender to ancient primal patterns and physical instincts. It can occur best when a mother is not disturbed during the process of labor and birth. Giving birth physiologically is not easy in our highly medicalized and fear-driven cultural climate. Giving birth is a function of our bodies and can become, like sleeping or breathing, an autonomous process. So, you're going to have a baby. Welcome to Mother Love Child. My name is Kimberly, and today we are going to be talking about what happens in the body during labor. In the beginning of this video, what you heard was a little reading from an article that I used many years ago and that I still turn to just for the introduction. It's an article titled, "What is Physiological Birth?" And if I can find the link, I'll put it there for you in the bottom. I mean, like I said, it's been many years since I have read it, or since I have found it, if you will. I don't agree with everything in the article, but who agrees with everything written in any book or any article? Anyway, the introduction is solid. It's golden. Physiological labor is just this process that your body goes through when it's time for the baby in your womb to come down, through, and out of your body. So yes, I'll set that aside down there for now. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? When your body is ready for labor, the cervix is soft. You have your uterus. Okay, let's say this is your uterus here. Your baby is inside your uterus. And down here at the bottom of your uterus, there's your cervix. Maybe I can like, I'm gonna use these two fingers. Your cervix is here, okay? And during pregnancy, it's kind of long. It's long. It's kind of firm to the touch, and it's closed. It's closed and it's protected. When labor is beginning, the cervix gets softer and shorter, and it begins to open. Ever so slightly, it will begin to open. Now, I'm not going to use terminology this go around, so I'm not gonna say it what it means. But here's your cervix, okay, and it's the opening to the uterus where your baby is contained. It'll begin to get softer. It'll rise up. So if this is your cervix here, or your uterus, sorry, your uterus is here, cervix is here. At the beginning of labor, your cervix would have already risen up a little and gotten softer, and it begins to open. Keep using different fingers. Open ever so slightly. That's what needs to happen for labor to begin. And then as that first phase, if you will, that first chunk of time that your body is gearing up to go, your cervix opens a little more and a little more and a little more. So maybe it's nice and tight and closed, and then it opens a little more and a little more and a little more. And in order for your cervix to do that, your uterus needs to contract. Your uterus is a big muscle, and it contracts to pull open the cervix. So that muscle contraction that you feel at the late end of pregnancy is helping your cervix to be opened ever so slowly. And so that essentially is what is happening in early labor. Your uterus is contracting, or you're feeling the waves of labor coming, and your cervix is soft and ripe and beginning to make the doorway for your baby to come through. Years ago, I created a sheet, and I'll insert it in here for you so you can see it better. You can pause it, read over it if you want to. It's a little worksheet I came up with the stages or phases of labor. Okay? In early labor, your contractions can really be anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes apart. So within your body, your womb is working, but it can take some long breaks, and that's okay. Early labor can take its time. You can take your time. Contractions during early labor are somewhat short. And this is the time in your mind where you may be thinking, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm in labor. And then maybe you're not. Maybe it's like a practice run before the real thing, right? As you get going in labor, or as your body keeps moving through in the labor process, you'll notice that your contractions are becoming closer together. So instead of 5 to 30 minutes apart, they may be anywhere between 3 to 10 minutes apart. And during this part of labor, remember when we talked about your uterus and your cervix here and how it softens and shortens? And early labor is just beginning that process. And then as you move into active labor, it becomes even a little softer and even a little shorter. It continues that process. Your uterus continues to contract to help. Which hand did I use? I can't get it right now. Anyway, to help open your cervix. So your cervix is still slowly beginning to open. It's softening. By what I'm terming as active labor, your baby may even begin coming a little further down into your pelvis if your baby hasn't moved there already. May or may not. So remember, it's normal for within your body for your baby to still kind of be up there hanging about, not really right down in there. Now there are some instances where the baby's been down and ready for quite some time, and that's also normal. And it's also normal for the baby to still be kind of up a little bit. During active labor, we're gonna give it a name, okay? Your cervix can be dilated anywhere between 4 and 8 centimeters. Now, some places, 4 centimeters is active labor. In other places, when I say places, I mean like hospital, birth center, or according to your home birth midwife. Some people say 4 centimeters, and sometimes they say 6. So it's going back and forth. I say, look at the mom. Look at the mother in labor. Look at the woman who is about to become a mother. Her signs, her emotional signs, her mental state, that's really what's going to tell you how far along in labor she is. So during this part of labor is the acceptance. You're not wondering anymore if this is labor. You've accepted it. This is labor. I am in labor. My baby is coming. It is happening right now. So in your body, your cervix is opening even a little bit more. It's becoming even softer. In your mind, you know it's happening. You know it's happening. So I've added in a little sliver of, if you were to look at regular textbooks or general textbooks, you would see early labor, active labor, transition. But I'm like, whoa. We missed something here. Let's back up. Little sliver of hard labor. There's a time during labor, before transition, after active really gets going, that things sometimes just really ramp up. Okay, it's not transition, it's not time to push, but things have intensified.